Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Pen. Obviously, welcome to In the Kitchen with Pen if it's your first time here. And today I went to Aldi and I picked up some rhubarb that had 30% off. So it meant that the rhubarb cost me £1. Can't remember. I will put it in the description and let you know. And I thought, I don't want a rhubarb crumble or a pie. The weather's nice. What can I make? And then I thought, oh, you know what would be nice? Another old-fashioned recipe. This time we're going to make a rhubarb posset. So in my pan I have 250 grams of washed and chopped rhubarb. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle over 1 tablespoon of caster sugar. And then we are going to heat that gently so that the rhubarb stews down but doesn't stew down to nothing. So I'm going to move you so you can see what we're doing. Right, it's on and I'm just going to let it really do its own thing. As I say, I don't want the rhubarb to stew down completely, but I do want it to soften. And I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get the soft rhubarb, but I'm also wanting to get a syrup from the rhubarb. And I'm going to need about 60 grams of syrup for this recipe. So I need to leave it alone. Leave it alone. Want it to cook, just leave it to do its thing. So I shall let it do that until I see that it's cooking down and I'm getting some syrup. Now if it's looking a little dry, I will add a tablespoon or so of water, but obviously I will let you know if I have to do that. But for now, I mean, you know, they say, you know, a watched pot and all that, so I won't make you watch. Well, this didn't want to give up its juices very easily, so I'm actually having to push it through a sieve, but I am getting some juice now. So what I'll do is I will computer stop. Excuse me one moment. Computer stop. I will leave that. See, it doesn't listen. Right, I'll leave that sitting over the jug and it will drip through, hopefully in its own time. And now we move on to the actual fool. And in here, in this pan, I have 300 ml of double cream, that's heavy cream for any of you in the US, and 100 grams of sugar. Now you can use, excuse me, hiccups, caster sugar, granulated sugar. You can even use golden granulated, I think that might be quite nice. But what I need to do, I need to pop this on. Oops, my bits has come off, and bring it up to a boil, and then I'm going to let it continue boiling for another, or not boiling, turn it down to a simmer and let it continue to cook for another 4 or 5 minutes. And this really is just in the hope that all the sugar will dissolve. So I'll come back to you when this is boiling. Right, as you can see, our cream is now boiling. So let's turn it down and we'll leave it just doing that for about 5 minutes. Just making sure it doesn't all rush over the top. Right, that's had 5 minutes and I hope you can see that it's actually, let's switch it off, changed colour and thickened up. It looks a bit like a lemon meringue, a lemon curd now, doesn't it? So we're going to take our rhubarb syrup and fold it through our fool. And now because I'm going to be putting this on into glasses, I need to let it cool down a little first. So what I will do is I'll actually transfer it into the jug, because that way it will be easier to pour. I removed a couple of pieces of the rhubarb before I started to strain, so I will use those for decoration on the top. But that is our rhubarb full mixture made and ready to pour. Right then, what I've done is I stewed that rhubarb down just a little bit more, so I've got some rhubarb in the bottom of the glass. And now, this is cooler, we're going to just pour our posset on the top. And what we need to do now is probably the hardest part of the whole recipe, and that is to wait, pop it in the fridge, let it chill, and then see how it tastes. But for now, I'm just going to have okay, I had a wee taste off of camera, but I kid you not, this, it's fantastic. And obviously as those flavours, let's just pop the rhubarb on top, as those flavours start to meld together in the fridge, it is only going to get better. So, right, rhubarb posset going in the fridge, taste test coming later. Right then, it's a few hours later, we've had dinner, we had a beautiful lasagna, and yes, I am wearing some of it, but our rhubarb posset has set. And take a little look at this. Doesn't set solid, but it sets. Blancmange, blancmange, I shouldn't say that, people don't like blancmange. But rhubarb, what goes really well with rhubarb? Ginger. So I've actually got a packet of ginger snaps from Sainsbury's, and I'm going to try the posset as is, and then I'll try it with a little bit of a ginger snap. So, oh look, I mean it has, look, oh look at that. Oh my goodness. That is so delicious. And what an easy dessert, eh? Oh look, lay it up. Actually, I've got a bit of rhubarb here, let's, there you go, and an actual piece of rhubarb. So, ginger biscuits, excellent choice. Well, put that down. This is fantastic. Right, I better take Steve through. Rhubarb posset. Absolutely delicious. What was it? 3 ingredients: rhubarb, sugar, cream. Yeah. So thank you for watching this edition of In the Kitchen with Pen. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up. Also, if you ever do make any of these recipes, please write down below and tell me what you think. It's, you know, it's nice to know if I'm doing the sort of things that you're interested in, or, you know, if you do make them, what you think. How would you change it? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I shall see you all again very soon in the kitchen with Pen.